Hi, I'm Tracy Deonn, author of the Legendborn cycle, and I'm going word for word with Simon Teen. Legendborn. Anyway, I was in the closet the other day and I found this. Thought you might like to have it. He hands me a square blue velvet box. I recognize it immediately. This is where she stored her golden charm bracelet. She'd only ever had 2 charms on it, one with my name and one with my father's. It wasn't one of her nicer pieces, but it's the one she seemed to love the most. Even now, the smell of her in the velvet is strong and alive, like she'd never left. It overwhelms me, bypassing any rational parts of my brain and zinging straight to memory. It pulls at a weekend of shopping with her at the mall, unearths the sensation of her hugs, sinks me down into her lap when I was little, rushes me past every single one of her cool hands on my forehead when I was sick. I move to open it, but he stops me. Open it when you get back to your room. I eye him. So I'm going back to my room? You're not going to tell me to not study too hard? You can study hard, but only if that's how you want to do it. He gives me a wry smile. No matter what you do, you got to live your life, kiddo. You got to be in the world. That's what she would want you to do. He reaches across the table to take both of my hands in his. Don't make your life about the loss. Make it about the love. So this scene is at a Waffle House, which is significant if you're from the South. So it's a scene between Bree and her father's come to pick her up during a time of duress in the school year. She's had a lot going on. We're towards the end of the book at this point. And what I love about this scene is that it's a way to take the dark night of the soul, which is sort of a structural element of a good story in sort of Western storytelling. You take a dark night of the soul moment, you have a character reach their lowest, and then how do they come back up? It's a question that authors ask. In this way, her father helps bring her back up, and I really love that. Legendborn was a moment in my life where I felt like I was trying something new that I couldn't quite tell if it was going to work out. So I was doing everything I could to shove all of my skills on the page, to put every trope that I knew the story would benefit from on the page, to sort of lay it all out there and do it in a way that felt tight and accessible, and that I thought was going to be a good groundwork for the series, and hoping that it did well enough that the series would continue. So Legendborn, to me, when I look at it, I'm like, this is a writer who's like making a big choice in her life to put herself out there, and she's not holding back, but she's also sort of kitchen sinking the book. When I look at Bloodmarked and Oathbound in particular, I'm having increasingly more fun as a creator, as a storyteller. I'm trying new things out. I'm doing things that are extremely self-indulgent. And part of the reason why I feel like I can do that is because every time I do something that feels self-indulgent and silly or fun or sort of ridiculous, turns out that's exactly what readers want. So they've empowered me to continue to keep doing that. And Oathbound in particular feels like a book where I had a lot of fun. Bloodmarked. I scrub at my cheek. I'm sorry, what do you feel right now? He whispers. I look up at him, at his golden eyes so concerned, intense as always. What are you feeling? I blink once, twice. I feel horrible, embarrassed, ashamed, like I'm not ready to go back there and face everyone. I feel terrified and I just want to feel safe, he asks. I gulp, but don't deny it. Yeah, I want to feel safe. A sad smile lifts the corner of his mouth. I thought you might. He reaches into his back pocket and produces my pen. I stare at it closed in his palm and realize what he's suggesting, what he's offering. I pull inward in shame. Sel's hand cups my kneecap, holding me in place. It's all right, Bree. I've already told you. I want you to feel safe. He gently tugs my tear-stained hand forward and flips it over, pressing the closed pen into my palm. If that means being with him right now, his brows lower and tighten together, swallows audibly. Then so be it. So this scene is between Bree and Sel. It's a little towards the end of Bloodmarked. What's happened is that Bree is just blown up in this very emotional, magical way in front of other people. It's been a very public thing. He finds her after she's run away, and he's asking her what she's feeling because he wants to understand how to make her feel better, which, if you've read Legendborn, is a pretty significant shift in their dynamic. This is a moment that is almost the exact opposite of their relationship throughout the entire first book, where he is offering support. He's asking her open-ended questions about her emotional well-being, her emotional safety, and then he offers her the pen. In this book, the pen is a significant representation of how Bree gets into her magical blood walks. So he pulls it out and offers it to her as a way to escape where she currently is and go to Nick, because he knows that's how she reaches him in sort of the ancestral plane space. So not only is Cell being kind and sensitive and allowing her to be emotionally vulnerable, but he's giving her the means to reach out to not only a character that he has his own problems with, but a character who is her clear love interest from the previous book. So it's a big love triangle moment, a big love entanglement moment, and it shows that he's willing to put her first. Oathbound. Erebus points toward the grandfather clock. 10 minutes, Brianna. I'm sprinting before he finishes his sentence. Out the doors, down the steps, across the patio, and into the trees as fast as my legs will take me. My arms pump at my sides. My thighs burn as I dash over the ground, kicking up pine needles as I go. If this is the first lesson, then I have no choice but to master it. And the next one, and the one after that. I have no choice because there is no choice. I will learn everything I can from the Shadow King because only he can teach me what I need to know. Once I'm strong enough, once I'm powerful enough, and once I have total control, it won't matter what I face next. It won't matter whether my opponent is human or demon, Cambion or spirit, Morgaine or regent, because no matter who they are, I will never let them hurt me again. So this is I love this moment because it's a great example of Bree at her finest. So this is, she's a character who makes a lot of big declarations, but she also makes a lot of big choices and swings. Coming off at the end of Bloodmarked, she's made a big decision, and this decision is a dangerous one. She's decided to go with essentially the biggest villain of the series because in a lot of ways she feels safer and more able to be prepared to take on the next challenge at his side than she does while being with the protagonist and being with the Legendborn. So she's dealing with the consequences of that pretty quickly. He is telling her she needs to run away from the two twins that she just met in the sequence who are his wards. And so she's running through the woods while thinking through her decision to leave with him and being committed to being there even though it's dangerous because she thinks it's better than the alternative. So I just love that she's this bold and brash and brave and literally running into the unknown, but it's her to the core. As the books in the Legendborn cycle have been released, starting with Legendborn, then Bloodmarked, and now Oathbound, the fandom around Bree, the readership and love and support around Bree, called the Bree Hive, has also grown, sort of exponentially, I would say. There were sort of a hardcore, very intense, loving group of readers very, very early on with Legendborn, even when there were just Legendborn arcs. Now the Bree Hive self-identifies that way. They're getting tattoos. They're changing their avatars when the books come out. They're quoting the books to each other. And just seeing that amount of internalization of love, I think, is the thing that's changed. And seeing that Bree has become both a representation of something that people really want in the YA space, but also something that makes them feel more like themselves or truer to themselves. That's pretty intense. I don't take it for granted. I think it's actual magic in real life. And I'm really grateful for the Bree Hive and how loud and supportive and ferocious they are.